Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Whole Division podcast. This is episode, Milan, what episode is this?
I mean, I say 11, they say 10, so we're like 11 and a half. 11 and a half, 10 and a half, fucking hell.
Clearly, Milan cannot count. Milan cannot take instructions. We're going to go over episode 10 because we really don't know, we really can't remember, right? So, we are back again. As you see, some new faces on the screen, some familiar faces as well. And what you may have also seen, I'm kind of stalling as I'm waiting for Chidi to be unmuted and her internet's come back on so I can introduce her first because she is the first lady of the Whole Division podcast. So what we're going to do, we're going to introduce it and have Chidi do some hand signals. So Chids, are you ready? Can she even hear me? Oh, yes, there we go. She can. So, first of all, we are joined by the Whole Division podcast First Lady, Miss Chidi Bang Bang.
Can you hear me?
We can now, yeah.
No, fuck you all. Nah, fuck off. I've had a bad day. Fuck off. Hi, guys. Namaste. Fuck you all. Like, I just literally...
Chidi's like, namaste the fuck away from me, people.
Yeah, namaste the fuck away from all of you. Fuck you. Especially you, Sticky.
Love it. Love it. We are also joined by a man, I was going to say over the pond, but we've got two people over the pond this week. So from sunny Australia, Mr. Carball.
Morning, evening, wherever you are. Hey.
There we go. We also got our very own banter bringer, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock.
Hey. Human calculator.
Yeah, one that can't fucking count. Also joined by the bumblebee that is Miss K. Miss KK. That was her saying hello, by the way. We also joined by a special guest this week. He's got a podcast called the No True Sparred Podcast. He's also a fellow Taurian as well, so you know he's the greatest. Mr. Hoyt.
Listen, thank you for bringing me on. And listen, Sticky, you being the leader, the assertive Taurus on this particular podcast, I'm going to make sure that I follow your guidance, your leadership, and your wisdom, because I know that you will never lead us astray. I just...
Chidi.
Can I just stop?
Chidi, you made a mistake.
They're the height of the zodiac. Aries are height of the zodiac, and that's me. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, but Chidi just made Aries. The whole three Tauruses in this chat.
You know what? I might as well just fucking wrap one in my brain.
Okay, so three Tauruses. And I love Aries. You guys are awesome. You guys are the second best zodiac sign.
And I think Gemini's are last.
Nice
as well.
to meet you, boys.
Nah, Gemini's don't give a fuck for any of you. Air sign, me and Milan, the team air sign, Aquarius and Gemini, we don't give a fuck for any of you, okay? Don't piss me off today. My child has pissed me off today. Work has pissed me off today. And I'll piss you all off today. I will take it out on you, okay?
And also...
I came to know, okay? Fuck you too, yeah? Taurus, fuck you all.
And also, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers, right? So that's the introduction. That's one of the best introductions we've had ever, to be fair, right? So this week, we're going to do it slightly differently this week, right? I know there's a lot of us on today. We've got 4 topics this week. So normally we do 2. We have a serious topic, a fun topic, Arts Milan or Arts Auntie Calm. But this week, we're going to go slightly different, bit off plan, and we've got 4 topics. So first topic is sexuality in classic comics, rather. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Talking about if you might, I said comments. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Tongue-tied, stutters, and all that. Speech impediments. But anyway, so that's what we're referring to the new comic, or what's gone viral in terms of Superman and Lois Lane's son, Jonathan Kent, right?
Clark.
Yeah, whatever his name is, anyway.
Clark Kent. Yeah.
Jonathan Kent, there we go, is supposed to be bisexual, so that's gone viral. We're also be talking about exposing artists. Now, we're referring to R. Kelly. He's come out recently saying he's going to expose some other artists as well. He's going down. He's taking other people with him. We'll also be talking about black fishing. Now, I'm pretty sure you've all seen Jessie Nelson, who was formerly of Little Mix, done a video recently, I think earlier this week or last week, with Nicki Minaj. It's gone viral, talking about her black fishing. And lastly, brutal dating advice. in reference specifically to Kevin Samuels. So for those of you who know about Kevin Samuels, actually, for those of you who don't know about Kevin Samuels is a YouTuber, influencer who has very harsh comments about people. So those are our 4 topics today, which we're going to try and fit in the next 50 minutes or so. Now, before I go first to Carl on our first topic, let me just quickly read some messages before I do. Give me 1 sec. So PD says, hey everyone, Brina says, good evening. The global intranet network, I believe it says, hey, grow this, act it. Is saying hands up. Brina says namaste and is laughing, talking about Chidi's introduction, which was lovely. Grow this, I don't know what it's trying to say. Grow this, that's it. I don't know what it says. It says namaste, the fuck away from me, you all. Again, talking about Chidi, and DJ Empress says greetings and blessings. So, Carl.
Hey.
What is your views on this thing that's gone viral about sexuality in classic comics with Jonathan Kent being portrayed as bisexual?
I'm just numbing my vision from the woke wankers, first of all, because this is what it's down to. It's the woke. That's what it's down to. I ain't got time for it. No, but look, I think it is partially jumping on a definite bandwagon. I've seen the series of Superman and Lois. Ain't no Jonathan in there bisexual because he's got a damn good girlfriend and they're in love. So if I'm here for the drama for the next season, if he does become bisexual, but I also do think it's jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, look, if someone wants to be gay, be gay. I couldn't give a damn. But why is it all apparent now after the series has been written and now the comics, obviously, they're written by the same people. So therefore, how is he bisexual when the series says he's not? So therefore, it gets me thinking that he's dead. This is definitely jumping on a bandwagon. Publicity, that's what it's coming down to, I think, personally. And, huh?
You just made me laugh.
What?
I was going to say that he's bisexual when Siri said he's not. It was the way you said it.
In the series. No, it's not. I mean, it's the same writers. It's the same platform of comic. So how is he in one and not the other? That's what I don't get. So yeah, I'm definitely going for this. Is just jumping on the bandwagon. You're probably having the woke wankers going, there should be inclusivity, or fuck off and go home. Yeah, that's what I'm going down to. I think it's definitely inclusive. Huh?
Did you say theories or theory?
No, there's a series called Superman and Lois. I've watched the first season. It's incredible. No, it's awesome.
You meant theory. I thought you meant actual theory said that he's not bisexual, for fuck's sake. I'm tired.
I mean, I can ask if you want.
Girl.
All right, so I think what I'm going to jump to Kay. Kay, do you agree with Carl? Do you think they're just jumping on the bandwagon, or do you think there is a need or I suppose, for a bisexual son of Lois and Clark?
I think that obviously inclusivity of all people is important. It's fair. It's important for everyone to feel represented, but equally you can't just change someone's character for the hell of it. Like Carl is saying, he's already watching something that shows this character in a very happy, heterosexual relationship. That's not to say, obviously, that he is not bisexual, but equally, it's a lot is being done at the moment for the sake of inclusivity, and I think it just ends up pissing people off more than it does any good. It was the same with, the whole Bridgerton thing. So many people of colour were saying, it's all well and good, but it's not actually representative of the time that it was meant to be set. And it just feels like you're doing it for the sake of being able to say, we cast people of colour into our show. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm sure that DC Comics can make some new characters, add some new people in who are actually genuinely being written as characters to represent minorities. But it doesn't sit right with me. It's a nice thought, but it's almost like an afterthought to just fit in with society now. So
that's a fair point. Wait, before I come over to you, the Global Entrepreneur Network, I believe that says well done, Chidi. Isan and Kim says, good evening, guys. P says, hey, Kim. Isan and Kim says, Siri says he ain't got a gender. Okay, fair enough. And Brina's 80s baby says, I'm with Carl on this one. Make it make sense. Seems like a bandwagon for publicity issue. Hoyt, my man Hoyt, No True Spard podcast. What's your views on this? I mean, has it been viral where you are overseas, or is it?
Yeah, so I've kind of come across it, here and there. But my first question I was going to ask is this canon? Because I'm a Marvel guy. I'm not really a DC guy. So I don't really follow like Superman and whatnot. So I was going to ask, is this like legitimate canon? So I look at it from two different perspectives. One where you do want to have representation, because I'm pretty sure that you do have people of different backgrounds that do enjoy the DC comics. They do enjoy these characters. And to be fair enough, I can understand trying to have different representation. But also, let's not forget, this is a company, and they're looking at a demographic that they can tap into to make even more money. And it's kind of like when Colin Kaepernick, took a knee, to speak up against police brutality. And what he did was definitely genuine, but a lot of businesses saw an opportunity to hop on and commoditize something that's related to really trying to express brutality, police brutality, systemic racism, but they look at it as an opportunity to make money and capitalize. So I think you have a few different things going on here, but let's not just act like DC cares so much about the LGBT community. They're looking at it like, hey, this is another market, another demographic that we can capitalize, tap into to make even more money and to sell more product to. So I think a little bit of it is social representation, but more so is looking at another potential market to market their goods, movies, clothing, merchandise to for profit. So I think you have to look at it from both ways.
Okay, very valid points. And again, I think everyone's kind of saying similar sort of things. And I think Kay might have said it. Maybe let's have some new characters, I suppose. Shadi, Chids. I need to make Shadi laugh. Chids, what's your views on this one? Again, I know we were supposed to have another guest joining us who actually thought of this topic, but that guest is not joining us this week. Maybe another week that guest may join us. So, Chids, on behalf of the guest and yourself.
Yes, he's grounded. The other guest is grounded forever. So when I had a chat with my daughter about it, we were talking about it the other morning, and she said that she said they always have to set gender, sex, whatever, into something as simple as Superman. She said, she said like her age group are gonna watch that. They're all into like all that kind of stuff. Why does she need to know that Superman's son is bisexual? She said, why does she need to know? Sorry, my cat is jumping through the ring light. She said, why does she need to know that Superman's son sleeps with both men and women? Like, she said she doesn't want to know that men sleep with women. She doesn't want to know that from like a comic. She doesn't care. She just cares about the actual story. What does it matter? And that like got me thinking, yeah, why do they literally do like sexualize everything, whether it's gender, whether it's, sexual orientation. They really don't have to. It's just, again, these woke masses, isn't it? Just going around saying, oh, but we need to include it. Like, I looked at the comments on the post that I actually saw, and somebody said, like, not everyday LGBTQ. I don't know if I got that right. Not everyday gender, not everyday, like, all of that. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Why? Superman, isn't it? Just fucking hell. Like, I was just still stuck. I'm still like, when did Superman and when did Clark Kent and Lois have children anyway? Like, that was my question. Who the fuck is Jonathan? Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know who Jonathan was. So I was just like, never mind. And then he's bisexual, okay, but like, who the fuck is Jonathan anyway? I was just so confused. But yeah, it's just.
But Chid, coming from a teenager, Chid, like the part that they want to know about everything that's going on in life, and they don't give a shit for people walking around with labels. Like you said, they want to know the story.
They don't
why
care.
is this got to be? Why is this got to be a feature?
Yeah, they don't care. That's exactly what Anima said. She goes, "Why? What's the relevance? Don't get it. Who cares if he's bisexual or not? Like, so he's Superman's son. Like, he could be doing so much more. Or who gives a fuck if he sleeps with men and women? Like, don't. I don't know. It's just mad, isn't it? Fucking fuck this generation. That's what I think.
Definitely some valid points in there. And again, I think that's something I may have, even myself, may have taken for granted in terms of how sexualized or over-sexualized things can be, as simple as a cartoon, right? Or a TV show that is inclusive in terms of all ages. So does it need to be as sexual or sexualized as it is? I agree. Milan, before I come over to you, quickly read some of these messages. This one says, agreed with Hoyt. That's from Brina. Brina says, I hear you, Hoyt. Peely says, agreed, Hoyt. Brina says, laughing at cat jumping through the ring lights. DJ Empress says, yes, she is damn right. We're talking about Chid's daughter. Brina says, yes, why is it even relevant? Going about the sexual orientation, sexual preference. Grow this tactic. I don't know what that's supposed to say. It says facts. And Peely says, Nunu is so right. But yes, Nunu was supposed to join us, but is not able to join us this week. Maybe next week. Milan, what's your views on this?
So, like Chidi, first of all, who's Jonathan? I didn't even know Superman had kids. Like, okay, cool. Okay. And then to make his son bisexual, in my head, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. But if he's not like a main character, like if he's got like no superpower, no nothing, you're just Superman's son that's bisexual, then why did you need to label him as bisexual? Because he's not going to be like, I haven't read the comics. No. I don't read the series. I don't watch this series. But it's like,
spoiler, Milan. Spoiler. He does. Spoiler. He does.
He does what? Oh, he has superpowers. Oh, well then.
Yeah, so basically the point of the story, whatever they're doing, is that Superman is like fucked off somewhere to deal with some shit, and his son is like stepping in to fill his boots.
Right.
So that's why they've made a whole deal of it. Otherwise, it's irrelevant.
Like I said, I didn't even know he had kids. Apparently he's got 2. I'm like, really? Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be saving the world. You shouldn't be having coitus. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, us lot, like, why are you not laughing? Like,
I haven't heard someone say coitus in ages.
It's a good word though, right? Also, it's like Chidi's daughter said as well, Superman, Batman, all of those, they've been out for how many years? And people still from my age group upwards, up to like granddads, do you know what I mean? Still read the comics and they still watch the series and they still have all the comics like in these little plastic folders because you can't touch them because they're like a collectible. So if all of those people haven't once been like, oh, actually, there's not a bisexual person in there. You don't have a I don't know, a lesbian, don't have a transgender. Like, why bring up now? Because now the audience that you're trying to grab now is like the younger age group. Do you know what I mean? So you're trying to grab them in. What, by adding in like, no, it's long. He didn't need to come out as bisexual, and if he was or is bisexual, then he didn't need to announce it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just go and save the world. Go and do what your dad's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Milan, more to the point, what's Superman doing having a kid at 8 years old?
I mean, did Superman even age though? Do you know what? Men can have kids. They can just keep going because, you know, they're little...
No, it dries up.
No, and like, haven't Rod Stewart just had another kid and he's like 500?
Yeah, because men keep going. It's the women that have got stickers
Well,
on.
you know,
We're not even gonna go. We're not gonna go there before we offend anyone. No, we're not going there. Right. So it's fair to say that everyone agrees that it was unnecessary. Now, before we go to our next topic, because we've got 4 topics to go through, right? I'm gonna read some of the messages quickly. No, actually, I'm gonna tell you what next topic is. The next topic is, I'm trying to get this done quickly, right? Exposing artists, referring to R. Kelly. Now, I'm going to come to Hoyt first. Hoyt, before I come to you, read some of the messages quickly. This one's from Peely. Peely says, definitely putting emphasis where it's not needed for the purpose of publicity. And also says coitus, referring to what Milan was saying. Clearly, Milan watches The Big Bang Theory. There we go. So, exposing artists. Now, again, if you didn't get to the beginning part, this is what we're talking about R. Kelly, because R. Kelly has obviously been found guilty, and he has said that he's going to be, exposing other artists as well who may be involved in the things he was found guilty of. So that's probably our serious topic, I suppose. Actually, they're all quite serious. So, Hoyt, what's your views on that as our special guest? No Truths Barred podcast. What do you say? What's your views?
Yeah, I say expose all of the pedophiles and sexual deviants. When you look at, I know a lady that owns a business, and she was an actress in a lot of independent films. Some of her kids were child actors. And I remember back in like 2008, she was saying that when she was on set and even in Hollywood, one of the things that everybody knew was that pedophilia is like one of the biggest problems. She said some of the parents that were on set would never leave their kids alone. And speaking about R. Kelly, I have to not just look at him, but the fact that Aaliyah's parents, if you go back, Aaliyah was 15 when he married her, and her parents were complicit with it. Her mom, they knew exactly what was going on. And then not only R. Kelly, but the handlers, the people that work with him, the entourage, they will enable things that would allow him to go out and be able to be in an environment where he could sexually abuse young women. So if R. Kelly's saying that he wants to speak out against everybody else in the industry, what I say is that I kind of hope that he does, because a lot of other people need to be outed. I want to be careful what I say, because you never know how things can go. But there is a big hip hop artist that was working with a younger female hip hop artist in the mid 90s and allegedly was sexually intimate with her. And this young lady was 16 and the artist was in his mid to late 20s. And so he's one of the people that, people were thinking about when R. Kelly said he wanted out other people. There have been names thrown out like Diddy. There have been other names as well. And so I think that you have to, if we really are about getting or outing people like this, these people that have a proclivity, for pedophilia, then you have to also out the others that are engaged in that. Now, the thing is R. Kelly's statements, are they going to be legitimate? Are these, or is he just going to kind of like randomly pull out names to try to go down with him and sabotage other people's careers because of what's happening to him? But it's a well-known fact that the music industry and the entertainment industry in general has a huge problem with children being sexually exploited. So I really want to see where this goes, and I hope that he does come out and name other hip-hop artists or R&B artists that are indulging in the same behavior.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to say next, right? So I'm sure we could probably all agree with what Hoyt said there. I'm sure we'd all want all the other perpetrators to be caught and convicted and so forth and share the same fate. So my question then is, I'm going to change it slightly. If R. Kelly does so, do you think he should have a reduced sentence? I'm going to come to Kay first. Chilly's face.
Not today with Chiddy.
And the reason why I asked that question, before you answer it, because that in certain countries, if you get other people arrested as well, sometimes they give you a reduced sentence. So in the case of R. Kelly, if he exposes other artists and brings other artists down with him and other people in the entourage, and that's what it said, should he have a reduced sentence?
No, I don't think he should. Do I think he's telling the truth? Maybe. Do I think he's clutching at straws? Most definitely. But he couldn't even admit. Do you remember that show where that woman was interviewing him and he literally got up and was freaking out about that he hadn't done this? How can you expect any honesty from him anyway? Is there going to be proof of whoever he's going to try and throw under the bus? I totally like we said, it's great if these people can be caught, but he's not doing it for the right reasons, is he? He's not kind of exposing people because out of like the goodness of his heart. He's doing it to try and get a lesser sentence. Yeah, I don't think he should be allowed a lesser sentence for what he's done to people. Full stop. I don't care if he threw 100 people under the bus who also got convicted. It's not an excusable thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to basically like be a grass on people and expect that you're going to get off when you've done exactly the same as what they were doing. So, no.
Okay, that's a fair point. Chids, what's your views? Do you agree with Kay? Do you think that if he was to bring other people down with him, he shouldn't have a reduced sentence, or do you think he should have some reduction in his sentence because he's got other perpetrators sentenced as well, or caught or arrested as well? What's your views?
I think they should just have more time to him, to be honest, because, like, at the end of the day, you're out there peeing on people's kids and doing the most, thinking of this, thinking you're powerful because you're the Pied Piper of R&B, when in fact you're just a paedophile, dirty fucking nonce. But then you've got knowledge of, I think around that time, I'm just like, I remember when I was 15, I had dirty old men, big ass, grown, hairy ass men, did not give a fuck that I was 15. If they would happily sleep with a 15-year-old, they didn't care. He'd had knowledge of the other artists and people in the music industry interfering with children as well. And as well as him doing that to children, he knows of other people that have done it and kept that to himself for all these years. And now because you're going down for like 100 years for peeing on people's children, giving them herpes, doing the most, you're pissed, so you want to put that information out there. Now you should have another 100 years. Fuck it. Do you know what? They should just bring the death penalty back and just kill you. Now, but then that's too easy for him. They should probably just give him to the families of the children that he's interfered with. Because how can you now, only now you're going to speak up? It's like, well, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose now. I'm going down for whatever, how many, so maybe if I speak up now, fuck off. Add more time to him. He's taking a fucking piss. I'd be like, thanks for that information. That's absolutely amazing. There's another fucking 10 years on top of your 100, you bastard. That's what I would say. Because, like, how can he think that it's okay? He's never admitted anything. He did that whole 15-minute song, I admit. He didn't admit shit. He is just vile. He thought that he could get away with it because of his status, because of who he was.
Yeah, he was like trying to gaslight everyone. Yeah. And being like, what do you mean? Like,
he abused it.
I haven't done anything.
He abused it. It's awful. Like, he said that, he was abused when he was younger. Change the fucking narrative there. Change the narrative. Don't add to it. What are you doing peeing on people's pissing? Imagine somebody pissing on a 14-year-old. You're a big stinking man and you're wigging on a 14-year-old. What is wrong? You don't deserve to breathe. You don't deserve to be here.
It was a transcript. Real quick, it was a transcript that came out from because, he had like hundreds of sex videos that he recorded with these kids. And one of the transcripts they showed, he was on film telling the 14-year-old, yeah, I love this 14-year-old PU, you fill out the rest. Yeah. And so, dude, it's like, I hope that he's in a jail cell and they're like feeding him like applesauce mixed with bleach every day. And he's like getting punched in the ribs. I want him to get tortured. I don't care if you reveal other people, because right now you're doing it to save yourself. You could have been done that. If you had a conscience about what was going on, you could have been done that, Mm-hmm.
You know damn well his body is now getting used the same he was using minors. So I hope they rip him a new one in jail.
So Chids, Chids said something there, right? And I'm going to touch back to what Hoyt said as well. So Chids was saying maybe his punishment should be going back to the families of the kids, right? Mm-hmm. But Hoyt made a good point. Hoyt said, if you think about Aaliyah's family, they knew. So he going back to the families of the kids, if they already knew as well, then what good would that be? They may be worried that he's gonna expose them too. You never know.
They're complicit as well for allowing that.
Exactly. Carl, before I come to you, so go on, you go, okay.
You do get a lot of like pushy parents, though, don't you? That just want their kids to be famous.
But that was the 90s.
Anything.
That was
Exactly.
the 90s with the parents.
Yeah,
they just wanted their kids to sing and go and sing with R. Kelly, staying with him, you'll do what you need to do, that kind of thing. I think a lot of them, obviously, like I watched a documentary and stuff, and you can see the guilt. You can see the guilt where they push their children. I don't want to believe in my mind that they push their children to go and get sexually abused by this guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to believe that. I don't think any parent within there, any sane parent who absolutely adores and loves, I'd kill for my child. Do you know what I mean? So, but I think things could have been done differently. I don't think it was something that they wanted to happen, but it has happened. So give him to me. I'll have him. It's fine.
Should be singing to him. Right, before I come to you, Carl, right? DJ Empress says, expose their ass, dirty fools. Peely says, the fact that he's only doing it so that he's not the only one going down doesn't make it any better. He should still have the same sentence. DJ Empress says, absolutely not. Rest in prison. Peely said he denied it for so long, nothing should be reduced. Now, this next to Instagram handle, I don't know what it actually says growth is, I don't know what that says. Anyway, it says good point. So forgive me if I've said it wrong. Clearly I have. I do apologize.
Growth is tacit. That's my fam right there.
Growth is tacit. Okay, well, big up yourselves. And sorry that I keep saying it incorrectly as well. Probably think that I can't read. I really can't, to be fair. Peely says, Chidi is cracking me up today. Yeah, Chids is on one today, I tell you. Brina says, unfortunately, yes, Chids. Many men made it clear they didn't care that we were underage. Going back to Chidi's point about when she was 15 and, grown men would approach. Peely says, so true. Growth is tacit. Says, we all have a R. Kelly in our circle and or in our family. Ooh. DJ Empress says, yes, Hoyt. Brina says, R. Kelly's case really showed me how people can have double standards. Too many industry members and the public overlooked his reign of terror because he made great music. Kiss my ras teeth. Also says include some of the victims' parents, back to what we were saying as well. So yeah, I think that's all the messages. Someone says, very true, Brina. Big up. It says growth is tacit. All right, I'm sorry. Big up yourselves. Carl, over to you. What's your views on this?
Well, look, going back to that one comment in the comments, then I hope there's not one of those in my circle, but sure. But so this him indirectly admitting that he did it, because he said all along he didn't do it. So by him saying I'm going to out others, he's then for admitting what he did, right? So he has definitely denied everything the whole way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a dirty, stinking cunt who needs to be hung from his balls, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, no. But the parents to a degree should be complicit in this as well, because they allowed, maybe not the paedophilia part, but they definitely pushed them to be and strive to be. I get the part of we want our kid to be better or to have an opportunity, but you also, to some degree, knew that you're putting your child in fucking harm. And down to what he's saying about outing other people, yeah, I mean, I think we should fucking know, because they could still be doing this right now. So yeah, I definitely think that is a vital part that we should know. Well, not for the feds or whomever, but yeah, it definitely should be known, and people should be aware, because it could be totally, the whole grooming part of this society is they're led to believe that nothing's good, nothing bad's happening to them either. So it might need a bit of education out there for these youths to actually, or adults, or wherever they are now, to know that that wasn't right, and that you can come forward to tell someone about this. So I think, yeah, these type of things should be outed more. And that's the thing with the 90s. The 90s celebrity was invincible. They were untouchable. And I think R. Kelly may be saying some truth in this, because there has to be other ones. As Hoyt said, Hollywood it's known for the debauchery and the filth. So it should literally be ripped apart and thoroughly investigated.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Millie, I'm going to ask you the same question as well. If R. Kelly does get others involved and arrested and taken to court and sentenced and stuff, do you think he should have a reduced sentence? Or
no, he shouldn't have a reduced sentence. But obviously, I don't know the law in America or whatever state he's in. But like you said, how the law works, he might get some time off. Doesn't mean that he should. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm just saying how the law works. He might get some time off. And also with him now talking up about, oh, well, I'm gonna expose other people as well. You got to remember, like, when he was doing what he was doing, yes, it was wrong. I'm not literally agreeing with what he did, but when he was doing what he was doing, it was like, I hate to say it, but it was normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was in the industry with other people and they was all doing shit that was normal to them. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, not everybody in the industry is like that. Not everyone in Hollywood is like that. Not everyone in LA is like that. Do you know what I mean? But the people that he would have been hanging around with, it was just normal. So if he was doing it, well, I ain't going to say nothing because he's doing it. And if he's doing it, she's doing it. And if I ain't going to say nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like, but what I think what it is where he was so, maybe all of us are just blindsided and we all have the blinkers on, but he was just so bait with it. Like, literally, his songs was about what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? So he was blatantly out there telling you what he was doing, where I think when you look at other people's like music, unless we all have the blinkers on, their songs aren't talking about what they was doing. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe they are, who knows? Do you know what I mean? But he was just blatantly saying it. And because of the power that he had, no one did shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, people have been coming forward for years and it's just got brushed off. Like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. And now, and then because it's gone on and on and on and on, okay, cool. Like, now he's been found guilty and he's locked up. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm seeing memes of like people being like, well, if he done the song with Usher, like, the girl. It's like, well, if Usher and R. Kelly was liking the same girl, if Usher likes them young, like if R. Kelly likes them young, Usher, then what was you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, oh, is that song now opening your eyes to see something? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that he should get time off. Like, personally, no. But how the law works, I think he will. And I think he's only bringing up people now because, like I said, at his time, it was normal. So now he's been found out. He's like, well, like, what we was doing weren't right. So I'm going to tell about this person, that person, and the other, which I think is right. Like, he should speak up. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's never a time that's too late to speak up about something that is wrong, especially when it's this disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Like, why should he go down and everybody else gets to keep in the shadows and be like, literally have their feet up looking at their plaques? It could even be carrying on now because, all these Instagram girls and whatever, there's girls out there that's fucking 12 looking like they're older than me. They look fucking like 35. Do you know what I mean? So they can still be going on now. So why should he not speak up? Do you know what I mean? Like whether he's doing it to get his sentence reduced, whether he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart, he should speak up regardless of the reason. He needs to speak up and get other people put away as well because it's disgusting.
100%. No, I think everyone shares your views there now. What we've got to do, because we're pushed for time, for some unknown reason, we were saying let's do 4 topics a day and within 1 hour. So I've got to push on to the next topic, which is music related again.
That's no idea.
There's our little secret, Chids. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read some messages. I'm going to actually come back to you, Milan, first on the next one, because I think it was safe to say that we could all agree that he shouldn't have a reduced sentence. He should go down, and it's social damage with him. But I do think, though, as Milan said, actually saying about the song Same Girl, I think we might then start reading every song that he sung and think, oh my God, was he talking about this? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Brina says, I'm not sending my children to anyone known to be a paedophile. Going back to what I think Chidi was saying in regards to parents pushing their kids over there, knowing what they were like. So some of these parents did, and I'm all the way in the UK. Okay, fair enough. Also says, I don't care how much he could launch their careers. Growth is I can't say that word. Tacit. Yeah, I'm going to get it wrong. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. I know. Reminds us all of the importance of unlearning the hyper individualistic. There we go. BS that places self over community. Our children especially need us, our attention and care. Definitely agree with that. Yeah. You guys can see my speech impediment coming out now, yeah? People matter more than stuff. Okay, we go 100%. So, third topic, right, is about a young lady who recently came up with a song with Nicki Minaj. Now, some of you know her from the group Little Mix. She went solo recently, and she's been, the video she's done, they're saying that she's doing blackfishing or blackfacing. I don't even want to call it these days. Blackfishing. And that's Jessie Nelson. Now, have you all seen the video? Actually, Hoyt, if I come to you first before I go to Milan, have you actually seen the video or seen the things going viral about this video of Jessie Nelson and Nicki Minaj, and they're talking about her blackfishes, a lot of the UK's blog sites and things?
So, no, I actually haven't seen the video, but I do know what blackfishing is and other celebrities that have been accused of it. But if you could break down the context of that video real quick, I'll definitely add my take on it.
No problem. So I'm going to go to Milan first, but just to give you a bit of context from what I've seen, because to be honest with you, the story kind of went over my head. I wasn't really paying a great deal of attention to it, right? So a young lady who's white has done a video with Nicki Minaj. It's an R&B song. So she was part of the group Little Mix. So it's 4 of them. She went solo. And in this video, she's remixed Diddy's song. I think it's Bad Boy for Life. And I think the song's called Bad Boys or something like that. I don't know. Something along those lines. It's got the sample, got Diddy doing Diddy stuff on it. But she looks a lot darker than she usually does. And they're saying that she's blackfishing. And the UK blog sites was up in arms this week, all right, about her video with Nicki Minaj. And she's actually did an IG live with Nicki Minaj, I think earlier this week as well, where Nicki Minaj was defending her, saying, she's not blackfishing. But if you look at her pictures, she looks considerably darker than how she used to look when she was a Little Mix. So I think the song's like an R&B song, probably catered to a certain demographic. So when it comes to Milan first, Millie, do you think she's blackfishing, or what's your views on this situation?
No, I don't think she's blackfishing at all. Like, she done the girl, Jessie, done I'm sure it was on BBC Three, something about something, I don't know. But it was on and I was watching it. And I'm sure it was about her and her life. I don't even know. Anyway, whatever it was about, in it, she literally is showing like baby pictures, and literally her hair is like big and her hair is ringly, and not even ringly, her hair is curly. Like, her natural hair is curly. So when people are and then in the video, obviously she's got curly, obviously she's not weaving or whatever, but her hair is curly. So everyone's like, oh, well, she's doing that. No, hon, that's like, her natural hair is like that. Then you've got people saying, oh, well, why is she darker? She's got a tan. Again, in the thing on BBC Three, I don't know whether she was in England in the sun or whether she was away in the sun, but she tans like olive skin, like she tans really dark. So on the Instagram live, she said that she was in, I want to say Antigua, but I might be getting that wrong. But she was in a different country like 3 weeks prior to doing the video. And again, she just tans like naturally dark, and her tan like holds. The only thing I find annoying with the video, and I don't think it's blackfishing, is just her voice in it. Like, it's just annoying. Like, it's very like, why is it like that? Do you know what I mean? But her music is not for me. When I first heard the song, I thought it was catchy, but like I said, like her voice was just annoying in it. But I don't think she's blackfishing at all, because if you look at the video, you've got her with curly hair, Nicki Minaj come out with a whole straight, I think it's even a purple wig. Like, so what is she, white fishing because she's come out with straight hair, and like Nicki Minaj doesn't have natural hair? Like, why every time somebody does something does there have to be a fucking problem? I don't understand why the girl can't just sing her song, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, then don't fucking like watch it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. I don't think she's blackfishing. Let her do her song. Bad Boys, cool, whatever. I've even seen people being like, oh, the song says that she likes a bad boy, but her previous boyfriend, I don't know, was a guy off Love Island, and some next famous person's books like his son, and they're not bad boys. So fucking what? Like, when you do a pop song, you're not talking the truth. It's just a fucking pop song. Do you know what I mean? Like, mate, let the girl have her fucking 10 minutes and fucking let her shine. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not bothering me. I don't give a fuck if she got curly hair, straight hair. I don't care if she was even purple in the fucking video. I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me. I don't think she's blackfishing.
Man, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The Global Entrepreneur Network says, my first time learning of blackfishing. PD says, I saw the video. I wasn't keen on the song. I wouldn't say she is blackfishing, though. Her lips are bigger and her skin is darker. I think she was just trying to spice up her look. Spuds, DJ Empress says, she could have been on holiday for fuck's sakes. Fair enough. This one says, very interesting. Were people complaining that she was culturally appropriating? Yes, they were indeed. The blog sites were a bit crazy.
Say as well, sorry, one quick thing. You know, people say like her lips were bigger, she was darker, whatever. When you're in a girl band, literally, you have no say. Like, they say, right, you're going to be the one that, I don't know, looks like the soft girl, and you're going to be the hard girl, and you're going to be this, and you're going to be that. And then you stick with that. Your whole career as a girl band, boy band, whatever, you stick with that look. So now she's now she's like solo, she can do what the fuck she wants. Do you know what I mean? If she wants to wear baggy fucking joggy bottoms and a crop top, she can, because in Little Mix, that wasn't her look. Do you know what I mean?
Bill, the thing is as well, yeah, in terms of their style as well, so when they won X Factor, they had to be a certain category, yeah? So when they got rid of Simon Cowell as their management and went over to other ones, I think it was Atlanta or something on those lines, you saw their image totally change, and their rhythm, it became a more R&B based, or there was definitely more bass. They changed, and apparently that was the style they wanted. She's continued this phase, and now she's saying the cultural appropriation. So why wasn't that discussed then? Because there was a black member? And there's one black member out of fucking 4 of them. So why is this a big thing now? And also, the other fact you want to look at is she's managed by Diddy. Diddy's fucking changing her. He wants to sell. It's a fucking business. And if we really want to talk, she's golden. She's got a golden tan. Get the fuck over it. And if we're going to go there about skin tone, Nicki Minaj looks a few shades lighter. Who gives a fuck? No one gives a shit apart from these wankers who want to try and push this shit on the internet to try and sell their story. Well, guess what? Diddy's trying to sell his fucking music as well. That's what it's a business. This is what it's doing. They're sparking a discussion. She wants a bad boy. I actually like the song. I personally think Jessie got a banging voice. She does sound a bit squeaky in parts, but she sings it and she can sing. She's got fucking soul, that girl. There was no problem with Little Mix changing their fucking tune after they left Simon Cowell. Now, and so why is this a big discussion now? Bullshit. Absolute fucking hypocrisy.
PD says she just recreated her look. And Brina says, good points, Milan and Carl. Spuds. Just before I go to Chidi, right, I just want to make sure that to make you guys aware. The reason why Milan is all for it, because I don't know if you realize that Milan is actually white, okay? Milan and Carl are the same color, but Milan is blackfishing, okay? I'm joking. I'm just joking. If anyone gets upset, I'm joking.
My nan was here right now. My nan is as pale as like paper. Literally, this is like this. My whole nan is a whole pale top. Bless her.
Take off that filter, Milan.
Chids, what's your views on this one?
I don't think she's blackfishing. She's just gone over to whatever. Well, she's around Diddy, isn't she? He's going to do that. They do that. It's like any artist that is influenced by, black people. They would look at Ariana Grande. She did it. As soon as her writers were black, the producers were black, everything was black. So that element just goes into them, and I think they just adopt that way. I don't really class Jessie as R&B, to be honest. Don't really like the song. She doesn't really appeal to me, but she's doing whatever she's doing to like boost her solo career, isn't she? Like, I don't think she's blackfishing, but in regards to blackfishing, this is what pisses me off, yeah. This is what pisses me off. Like, Vivi Mills has had a lot to say about this, yeah, and I get where she's coming from. I'm with her 100, but not on this, because what Jessie is doing is not blackfishing. However, there have been many women who have been blackfishing, like, since the beginning of time, yeah, and nobody says anything. This girl is no longer in Little Mix. She goes over, there's a song with Nicki Minaj who blatantly bleaches her skin, yeah. And she's like around Diddy and whatever, and now she's blackfishing. But I could name like at least 5 people, like artists, who have been blackfishing since the beginning of the time, and no one said anything. Like Iggy is, what's her fucking name? What's that? Iggy Azalea or whatever the name is.
Yeah.
She's taking a fucking piss. If I ever saw her, I would punch her clean in her face.
Is it a name that?
Yeah, she's a prick. I don't like her. She's taking the piss. Cultural appropriation. There are so many people who are doing it, whereas this girl is just like innocently out there doing her thing. So what, she's got curly hair. So what, she's proper tanned. Wouldn't look at her and say that she actually looks like a black girl or she's trying to be black or whatever. There is no way of being black as far as I'm concerned. You are who you are. If you're black, you're black. You're white, you're white. You mix your mix. You can't pretend to be any other way. You can, but you're just going to look like a prick, in you. And she's just doing whatever it is she needs to do in order to move forward in her solo career. But then I just think that everyone's jumping on that bandwagon now, and like I've seen so many. That's why I kept posting in the podcast group, because I couldn't believe I'm opening my Instagram and I'm seeing another post on this girl. But people have been doing this thing for time. The girl's not even doing it, but nobody speaks up on that. But now, because she's brought out a song with Nicki Minaj, now you're gonna rip the girl. Why don't you speak up on the other women who are fucking doing it? And then Nicki Minaj. What pisses me off with Nicki is that she jumped on it, she's defending it, when she blatantly, I would not want, as a black woman, I wouldn't want my black daughter to look at Nicki Minaj as a role model. She's over confused, because she is about 20 shades lighter than she actually was when she originally started. She actually doesn't know who she fucking is. She's just a bit of a weirdo. And she also claims that she hasn't had much surgery. You fucking have, love. You literally change your whole look. You look like a totally different person. So, like, why don't we talk about that? Why don't we think about how it is, like, how we're projecting? Sorry, I don't know what happened. All I did was stop. Why don't we think about how we're projecting this shit onto, like, the next generation, our children? Like, what role models have they got? What have they got to look up to? Like, what's Nicki saying? Like, you know, she's not proud to be black.
Well, no, she's a black Barbie.
About that? Or that she's a black Barbie. Yeah, what the fuck is that? Like, no. It's weird.
Some good points in there. Before I come to Hoyt, I'm gonna change your question slightly. I obviously, I know you don't know who the lady is in question, but I'm gonna read some of his messages quickly. This one says, I'll listen to her music after this discussion tonight. Fair enough. Kim says, sorry, Chiz, just noticed you and Sticks having forward competition. Going out of topic. Fair enough. Brina says, I'm with you on that, Chiz. Nikki is doing the reverse, not the role model I want for my daughters. And this one says, when we speak on wholesome representation, role models for our children, who comes to mind? I think that's a question or a topic for next week, actually, to be fair. Hoyt, you write it down. So it says, when we speak of wholesome representation / role models for our children, who comes to mind? Hoyt, I'm going to change your question slightly in this topic, right? So before you guys goes in the comments, we've got about 7 minutes left because it's only for an hour. Chidi touched upon it. So I know it's about blackfishing, but also what's the word you use, Chids? Cultural. What's the word? There we go. Thank you. Cultural appropriation. And Chids did mention a few names in there. So she mentioned Iggy Azalea. I think Kay mentioned Bad Barbie. There's other we can mention as well, like Justin Timberlake, even Justin Bieber, Pink maybe as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Kim Kardashian, the other Kardashians, whether Kylie Jenner. Would we say it's cultural appropriation? I mean, what's your views on that one?
So when we think, at least here in this country, when we think about cultural appropriation, many of the attributes about ourselves, whether it be our culture, whether it be certain aspects of our phenotype, by and large, through Eurocentric society, we were kind of taught to look down on those things. But when a white celebrity comes along and they do the same thing or they mimic it, it gets praised by mainstream culture. So that's where like the conflict comes in at. And so you've seen guys like Justin Timberlake and Pink, a woman like Pink, and then a guy like Justin Timberlake, they'll come in and they'll immerse themselves in Black urban culture and they'll monetize it. And once they get to a certain point, they kind of discard that particular image, and then they move back to the image they were doing before or something that's more acceptable to mainstream culture. So they come in and they temporarily monetize it. And I think that's the problem that at least a lot of Black Americans have, is that many aspects of our culture is criticized, is castigated by the mainstream until the white celebrity comes and they adopt it, and then it's praised, is in vogue, is new, is innovative. And that's from everything going all the way back to Bo Derek when she first put cornrows in her hair. This is something that Black people have been doing since we came here in this country. And it's kind of was looked at, not as stylish, but then when she did it, it was something like, wow, where did that hairstyle come from? It got praised. It was something to be revered and praised as aesthetically. So I think that's really where the problem comes when we talk about cultural appropriation or blackfishing. It's this fact that Black culture is seen as this expendable thing that people can come in and monetize at their discretion. And then when they get done with it, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. They can monetize Black culture, Black phenotypes, but when it comes to Black issues, a lot of these celebrities fall silent.
Love it. I can't even disagree with that. And I think maybe that's a topic that we could explore again, maybe another week as well, because we've got to have Hoyt back on. Because if you don't really know, if you haven't followed already, remember, it's not what, in fact, I'm not going to tell everyone. Hoyt, tell me what the podcast is.
Oh, yeah, it's the No Truths Barred podcast. You can follow on Instagram at _No Truths Barred podcast and on YouTube as well.
Thank you very much. Now, guys, I know we had a fourth topic, right? But we almost ran out of time. We've got like 2 minutes left before the Instagram cuts out. So what I'm going to quickly do, I'm quickly read some of the messages. So I'll make sure I read everyone's message. This one says, facts. DJ Empress is agreeing as well with Hoyt. Rena says, yes, Hoyt, 100%. The Global Entrepreneur Network says, good hair styled in Black hairstyles. Okay. Peely says, agreed, Hoyt. And Issa and Kim says, hi, Spud. So, guys, before we go, we've got to make sure we let you guys know. Don't forget, make sure you follow us on the YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. We've got to say thank you to everyone who joined today. Thank you to our special guest, Mr. Hoyt. Thank you very much, sir. I know I didn't come over to Kay on the last topic, so I do apologize. But Kay, I must say, he is looking very lovely today. Today's probably the first time Kay has not been a pain in the ass on the show towards me. So, got to get that in there as well.
I can't believe how straight she was able to get her afro. It baffles me. A Black girl to get her hair that straight.
It's about Kay.
Yeah, it's talking about Kay.
I got loads of practicing when I was training, man. But yeah, it's like the whole blackfishing thing is like, I think people wouldn't have so much of a problem if credit was given where it was due.
Yeah, it's not.
But the problem is, it's not, like, here's a photo of my legs, right, when I'm very tanned. Like, I had to go and buy makeup, and the model who was wearing the colour was of mixed ethnicity, which makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. But yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with everyone here regarding the whole thing. I just think how it's gone around is wrong. It's like you shouldn't get other people to be confronting people for you. If you got a problem, you say yourself.
Agreed. Guys, before it cuts out, we're going to say goodbye from now. So, guys, see you all next week. Don't forget, back again at 9 o'clock. See you all later, all right?
Bye, guys. Thank you so much, as always.